Hi guys, and welcome back to ASX Market Watch. It's really good to have you here and it's great to have you watching. Thanks very much for stopping by. This week I'll be looking at the ASX Top 200 and also the Dow Jones Industrial Average, just because both of those are a good barometer. The ASX Top 200, as 3 out of 4 stocks will usually follow the overall market, it's a good barometer for telling which way most stocks will be travelling. And also the Dow Jones is a good indicator for which way the Australian market will be travelling, just because even though a lot of people don't think that it's true, that the Australian market does still take a lot of its lead from the Dow Jones and the American markets. Now let's get started. The ASX Top 200, first of all. Last week I noted that we had broken through our longer term trendline resistance, which was here. And this was like a very solid trendline resistance. Actually, anyone who's watched my videos before will know that the humble trendline, it's such a simple tool, but it's one of the most frequent tools that I use. It's what gave a great signal of a new bull market from July to December this year. And it's basically what I feel is giving us news of an early correction in January 2010. Now, since last week, it's actually continued to travel down, so it's continued to break the trend line, and it's gone past the previous trough, which is my signal for basically a downward trending market. The only thing wrong with that is that we still haven't had a bounce yet, and what I mean by that is we usually have, to confirm like a full bear market, we usually have a lower swing high, which means, say for instance, looking at it on a weekly chart, this one where each bar equals 1 week. Now, we've got 2 bars down. Now, this is a very early signal on a weekly chart, of course, but what you'd ideally want to see is another bar up, which creates a lower peak, and then for the price to travel back down through that. Just looking back in 2007, you can see on the weekly chart we did have the lower peak followed by, I'll just see if I can enlarge that for you, actually. There we go. Yeah, so we've got the lower peak, and then it travelled through the previous trough. So basically that's what you would call a Dow theory exit. And ironically enough, it happened in December 2007 when most people were still calling a roaring bull market, and no one really got the big shock until January 2008, and then obviously the market went further down from there. So I hope that's helped on the ASX Top 200. Of course, if you've got any questions, you can swing by the website and have a chat. It's always good to have you around. Just looking at the Dow Jones Industrial Average now as well quickly, this is a weekly chart as well, very much in the same position as the Australian market. From a market point of view, I know the economies are very different, but we've got the 2 bars down, haven't really had a reaction yet, and haven't really had a lower swing high, which would mean a lower peak, in other words. So that's really what I'd be waiting for at the moment. Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's crossed the trend line, and so that's my personal signal for a downward market to be happening. Now, with the Top 200, the ASX Top 200, just one last thing. There was a time when my Elliott wave count was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I expected the market to go up to around the 5100 to 5300 level. Now, that obviously has definitely not happened. And what has happened instead, basically, is that the market has found that resistance at the 5000 level. That's the 50% retracement of your entire bear market. And with the crossing of this trend line on the ASX Top 200, I'm seeing quite a lot of short positions opening up. So if you use trend lines on your regular charts as an entry signal, which some of you do, I know, then you will probably be seeing the same thing. You'll be seeing quite a few entry signals based on trend lines. If you miss them, don't worry, because what will actually happen is we'll usually see a correction pattern start to form a little way down. So we've got our entry signal from a trend line, which is a great entry. I mean, I do use them myself, and we usually see a bit of a consolidation at some point, probably in this case around the 4500 level, but hey, that's pure speculation on my part. I am just going to follow the trend at this stage. Alright guys, thank you very much for stopping by, and I hope that's helped a little bit. Obviously, there's not much more upside of the market, but it's okay. Learn to trade short. It's not too far different. The trades are usually shorter. And if you want to learn how, you can just stop by my website at asxmarketwatch.com. There's a free course on there, and it shows you a whole bunch of tools on how to analyze the market if you're so inclined. Alright, thanks very much, and hopefully I'll see you next week. Bye.